Welcome to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm Lisa Workman with the Fergus Falls Area Chamber of Commerce. Boy, when you look around, it certainly looks like it's already Christmas and Thanksgiving isn't even here yet. But, with all of that, I wanted to invite everyone to get ready to shop, drop, and win. This is the Chamber's annual retail promotion and campaign where we reward you for shopping locally this holiday season. We're kicking off Shop, Drop, and Win on Wednesday, November 23rd, the day before Thanksgiving. You can start saving your receipts from all of the wonderful purchases that you make in Fergus Falls. And you can then enter to win $500 in Fergus Bucks. You can enter at the Chamber or you can enter on our website at fergusfalls.com. Again, Shop, Drop, and Win goes from November 23rd until December 12th, and we will be giving away over $500 in Fergus Bucks. So again, this is our thank you and our way of saying we appreciate the fact that you're shopping locally in Fergus Falls. Of course, if you want more details, check out our website at fergusfalls.com. Joining me on the show today will be Klara Beck. She is the Community Development Manager for the City of Fergus Falls. We are going to talk about childcare and strategic planning, so stay tuned.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm happy to have our guest today, Klara Beck with the City of Fergus Falls Community Development on the show today. Klara, glad to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me, Lisa. I'm glad to be here.
And it's always interesting too because there's so many different components and different departments and different things going on, especially behind the scenes with the City of Fergus Falls. And so I'm happy to have you on the show today, and we're going to talk about childcare.
Yes, we
babies.
are. Yes, babies, everyone's favorite topic.
Yeah.
So the City of Fergus Falls was very proud to be selected to be part of a cohort of the Rural Childcare Innovation Program, which is a program through First Children's Finance.
Very
First
cool.
Children's Finance is a nonprofit organization that helps childcare centers and locations stay viable and to grow if that's what they want to do. They also do a lot of data work, so they come into communities, they run numbers, they do those sorts of things, and then report back to the state of Minnesota. So they're really instrumental in understanding what the gaps are in the state of Minnesota. But they started this program a few years ago and have had several cohorts go through. But the RCCIP is a program that is designed for public engagement to find right-sized solutions for communities to solve their individual and specific child care needs, because every community is different,
Right.
but every community is suffering from the same problems, which is a lack of choices in child care.
Right.
So Fergus Falls has been dealing with this issue for a long time now. We've had lots of different iterations of groups who have come along to try to find solutions to the problem. We've made some strides in some ways, but when this program popped up, we thought it would be a really great fit for us coming out of the pandemic and into the new childcare landscape to maybe try a new approach. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so we started a couple months ago. We have a core group of members. It's about 17 of us who meet monthly, and we represent kind of a broad swath of the community. So we've got representatives from our largest employers in healthcare and manufacturing, and then we have providers, we have people from the faith community, we have experts in early childhood education who all come together and are trying to do this work together. So right now where we are in the process is we're trying to get the word out about the fact that there still is a child care shortage. Some people don't know that.
Exactly. If you're, and especially if you're either, not of the age where you have kids, children of the age that need child care, whether they're in school age or they're, much older than that, or you don't have children, or if you're single, or if you're,
Yep.
grandparent age or whatever it is, if you're not fully engaged with it and dealing with those challenges on a day-to-day basis, or if you're, if you're not an employer, so,
Right.
between the families themselves and the employers, it's a huge challenge that people don't understand. I mean, I remember 20 years ago, having to call a couple different places to find childcare when my son was little.
Yep.
But now, you could call every single, provider, and you're probably not going to find a spot, especially if you have an infant.
Anecdotally, so I have a family member who is currently pregnant, just recently found out and has already had to start calling around to try, not in town, but
Right.
not too far away, has had to start calling around to try to find childcare, and in the area where she is, she's on a wait list of 700 for one of the locations.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, so it's not
The
quite...
poor baby will be out of high school by the time that opening comes around.
Yep. So the numbers that we see and that get updated fairly frequently tell us that in Fergus Falls at any given time, there's usually a couple hundred kids who are either not in the right fit for childcare, they don't have childcare. So
Sure.
a lot of times that means that if they have parents who want to be in the workforce, they can't be in the
Right.
workforce. It just doesn't make sense for them to. They either can't find the childcare, they can't afford the childcare, they're not finding the right fit for their family. So lots of different reasons, but it all boils down to not quite enough choices, and it also boils down to childcare has traditionally been seen as a woman's role,
Sure.
Which a lot of times means that it's a lower paid position, so it's hard to try to make a living as a childcare provider.
Right.
So that's another one of the issues that people are trying to solve is, well, how can we make childcare be the profession that it really is, a profession that's revered and
Right.
also compensated appropriately.
Right.
So it's
And yet remain affordable
Exactly.
for the family.
Yep.
So, and that's, you bring up a great point, Clara, because a lot of times, you hear talk at the different cafes and things where people are chatting about, well, I don't understand why all these companies are hiring and why they can't find people. Part of it is that people can't choose to go back into the workforce, because they don't have childcare available.
Yep,
Or
that's such a
quality
great
childcare.
point.
Or, again, affordable. I've heard one person say, well, they should just raise their rates. Well, then families can't afford it, so then they choose to go home. So if their
Exactly.
paycheck is just going to childcare,
Yep.
they'd rather stay
They'd
home
choose
then.
to stay home,
But
yep.
absolutely. So, and that's and it's one of the problems and issues and challenges that our community faces that a lot of people don't see, because you don't see when it's not available. It's not like going to Service Food and they're out of butter.
Right.
You see that, but
Yep.
you don't see the whole. And that's why we're sharing the information, is that the city is really working diligently to as you say, you've gathered like close to 20 people together of a variety of backgrounds to help come up with solutions for this.
Yep, that's right. So right now we're in that data gathering phase. We're getting some new numbers going. We're also running surveys right now, which you can find on the City of Fergus Falls website. There
Perfect.
are different surveys for the different role that you're playing. So we have an employer survey where we want to know what they're hearing from their employees and what they would hope to be able to offer to their employees, questions like that. We also have surveys for providers, home-based and center-based. So if you are a provider in Fergus Falls, we would love for you to come online and take that survey for us.
Right.
We also have a survey for families. So if you are a family who has a child in childcare or who has children of childcare age but is struggling to find childcare, we want to hear from you as well. So you can find those surveys online, City of Fergus Falls website under City Projects.
Okay.
We have a bunch of buttons of the different city projects we've got, and the RCCIP is the one where we've got the surveys listed. So
Sure.
we've started sharing those on social media. We've been targeted sending them out to employers, etc. So we're hoping to get some really good data from that.
Right. And if folks get the business buzz from the chamber every week, we've had a link to it in there too, so that people can take that
Awesome.
survey.
Thank you.
So, yeah, so we need to collect data from a lot of different players, because there are a lot of different pieces that come into play to come up with the solutions. It isn't as simple as, well, we should just reopen the Kmart building as a child care center.
Right.
You need providers, you need all kinds of different things.
You need the right space, you need the right providers, you need, all sorts of things have to fall into place. So another piece of our data gathering is also being tied in with a support event. So we have on December 1st coming up a provider appreciation event. So if you if you are a childcare provider, we would love for you to come out to the college December 1st. It starts at about 6 p.m., goes till about 9 p.m. You do get continuing education credits for going to this event. So you do get something out of it. You also get some awesome prizes.
Yeah.
We've been collecting a lot of really cool prizes from employers and companies around the city who have been super generous and really helpful in this planning process. So you'll get dinner. You'll get to hang out with other providers. We're going to have some table questions and things that you can answer that are going to help us get some more of that data, but you're also going to be able to get the credit that you need for your licensure. So we're looking forward to it.
What a great event. So that's on Thursday, December 1st. At M State Legacy Hall.
Yep.
Do people need to pre-register? Or?
There is a registration link. So every provider in town should have received something in the mail that has the registration information, but we've also been pushing it out via email, I think. So we'll continue to do that. But you can sign up for it on Eventbrite. I'm not sure how you search it, but we'll get that information out. But yes, we're hoping that our providers will register so that we can plan to have enough meals ready for everybody.
Absolutely. It's all really, that way there's plenty of food for folks. And it's a night that you won't have to make dinner.
Yep.
It starts at 6 o'clock, goes until 9 o'clock. Is it kind of more open house, or is there a kind of a schedule?
There will be, in order to get the credits for the licensure, there will be kind of a schedule. First Children's Finance is the one who's going to be offering the training piece of it. But there will be time where it's just providers getting together and being able to share their experiences, maybe meet other providers that they don't know are out there. We really hope to build kind of a network of providers so that you can be leaning on each other to, I've got a kid who's got this issue, how have you dealt with that? That sort of thing. Just the networking pieces that I think childcare providers don't often get because their hours are so long. I mean, you're starting at 6 in the morning and you're going until
6 o'clock at night or better. So you're right, because you're accommodating those work schedules and whatnot. So what a great event to be able to say thank you to all of those child care providers. Those little minds and those little bodies need such great care, and just a great way to say thank you for that too. So
important. We also have a town hall event coming up at the end of January. So that will be open to the entire community, not just providers. And at that event, we're again going to be gathering some data, learning more about what the community's needs are. After both of these events are complete, the RCCIP group is then going to start determining some next steps that we can take. This is about an 18 to 24 month long process. We're only about 2 or 3 months in at this point. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us to sort through what our specific needs are and then what the solutions can be. And we're already seeing some solutions pop up in our community. I mean, we've got at least one local employer who has made that part of their incentive package, is that they have on-site childcare.
Right, Pioneer Care opened the Pioneer Kids, and what a great way for them to recruit is to be able to offer, on-site childcare, and it's going to take a lot of different solutions to help fix this.
I went on a tour of their new space not too long ago, and someone else who was on the tour, they were asking how many kids are currently there, and they said how many that they had and then how many spots they still had available. And the question that got asked was, well, if you have spots available, doesn't that mean that there's not a shortage because you're not seeing those spots being filled? And my response to that question was, maybe, but it's not every solution is the right solution for every family.
Right.
So Pioneer Care is obviously a healthcare field. So they are filling healthcare hours, and what they've been able to do is offer slots where if because they're nursing staff, If they're on for several days, that means that they're then off for several days. And so a lot of times in traditional childcare settings, you're paying for every single day
Monday
of the week.
through Friday, right?
And if that's not what your schedule is, it's really hard to make that call and say, okay, well, I'm going to pay for 5 days of childcare, but I'm actually not going to need it for 2 or 3 of those days.
Sure.
So what Pioneer Care has been able to offer then is flexibility in their slots. So they actually have some employees who are sharing the same slot. So they have a nurse who's on for 3 days, and then another nurse who comes in and takes the last couple
Right.
days of that slot. So those are very specific solutions for healthcare, and it works really well for parents who are in that field. But it might not be the right solution for everybody. It might not be the right solution for somebody who's working in manufacturing and is working different shifts. So
Absolutely.
more solutions are definitely needed.
Yeah, well, it's just wonderful that the city is undertaking this and leading the charge on it, together with First Children's Finance through the RCCIP.
Yep. And I will say we have a lot of other partners in the community who have been instrumental in all of these conversations and have been keeping them going over the years. The city is by no means the only one in this
Right.
playing this game right now.
Yeah.
West Central Initiative has staff members who are
Focused on it.
focused completely on early childhood education and do an amazing job as advocates and as educators. They're
Right.
heavily involved in our RCCIP, which we're so grateful for. Otter Tail County is also doing their own tracts of study and
Right.
support services, which is again really, really helpful. And we have even places like Otter Cove, which you think is just a fun place for kids. Well, their staff is led by a woman whose background is early childhood education, and this is her passion, and this is what she knows about. And so she's involved in all of these different things. She's actually Katie Gano is the leader of the Otter Tail County Early Childhood Initiative. So all of these different groups are working together in tandem, but we're working toward the same goals, and it's great to have that support from so many different sectors.
Absolutely. And it's great to share it with people. Because we, like I said, if you're not facing that child care crunch yourself,
Right.
You're not really necessarily aware of it if you're not in the mix. But it is going on, and it will take the entire community to come up with solutions for it. So
Yes.
we'll come back and keep us posted
Yeah.
on this. We should touch too on a little bit on the city's also going through a big strategic planning process.
Yes, we
and
are.
things are coming together on that. You want to touch a little bit on that?
I would love to, yes. So the strategic planning process, we've been going through that since mid-summer. So it's been, late spring is when we really got started in earnest. And it's a process where we had been discussing with city staff had been discussing with council the desire and need for a comprehensive plan, which the city does not currently have. Now, comprehensive plans are undertakings that can take several years to accomplish.
Right.
There's a lot that goes into it, but it's a document that helps you look forward, 10, 20, 30 years. So it's very, very long term, and our council is interested in going in that direction. But first and foremost, what they wanted to do was get something going that would give some direction to the next 5 years.
Right.
So we
Kind of more of a plan of work, like what are their priorities?
boots on the
today?
ground. Yes, exactly. What are some things that we can implement immediately in order to start seeing some good changes in the city? And so we started that process. One of the first outcomes of the first meeting with City Council was communication, the need for better communication from the city, and from that, we actually ended up hiring our first ever communications manager, Jean Bowman. She has been on the job now for, I think, about a month and a half,
Yep.
and it has already brought such a change to the city's, the way that we're interacting with our constituents and
Getting
even
accurate information.
yeah, and
out
even
there.
internally, I mean, having somebody who's just focused on the communication has changed how our internal meetings and our internal communications are working, because we're starting to think more about, well, how can this be forward facing? How can we be more transparent in what we're doing? So it's been an awesome change that came through the strategic planning process almost immediately. So we're nearing the end of our engagement sessions. We just had our last small group meeting yesterday. And the next steps then are to come up with a draft. So we're working with WSB, who is a consulting group located primarily in Minnesota, but they also have locations in a couple other states. But they have been great to work with. They love coming up to Fergus Falls. I think they're really starting to understand who we are as a community and get to know the people that are here. So they are right now distilling all the information they've gathered from these small group meetings, and they're going to come back to the city council, I think sometime in December, with a draft. And from there, we'll finalize the plan and get that going and hopefully be ready to hit the ground running in the new year.
That'll be fantastic. Well, again, keep us updated on both the child care program, the strategic planning. Again, so many things going on with the city. We're happy to share the news and the truth and the real story, the accurate information with everybody that's watching here on Find It in Fergus Falls.
And if anybody has questions, the city is always there. You can always just call us up. Somebody will have an answer for you. It might take a couple people, but
well, with
we'll
100 and some people, nearly 150 people that work for the city, you know, everybody's got different roles and responsibilities. Yep.
But first and foremost, we are here to serve the city, and we love doing it. So
absolutely. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us on the show today, Clara. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes,
you
thanks,
bet.
Lisa.
Alrighty, we'll be back after a little break.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is here with the Park Region My Safety Net app. Welcome home to My Safety Net. The My Safety Net app is designed to easily tailor a custom Wi-Fi experience. The My Safety Net app is simple and intuitive. All features are accessible from the home dashboard. Easily create profiles for people, places, and things. Pause the internet. Set schedules. Run bandwidth tests. Get performance alerts and device statistics. Enhanced features allow you to filter content, prioritize devices and activities, get notified and keep track of web threats, intrusions, and blocked viruses. My Safety Net app. Connect, control, and tailor the ultimate Wi-Fi experience. My Safety Net by Park Region. Call today.
Well, welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. I want to thank Klara Beck with the City of Fergus Falls for joining us on the show today. Of course, if you want more information about things going on with the city, with the chamber, one of the best places to go is to fergusfalls.com, which is on our website. And you'll also find on there information on Fergus Bucks. Fergus Bucks are a great holiday gift. They are like buying a gift card for all of Fergus Falls. You can find an order form, you can find a brochure on how to use them, and you can even find the list of businesses that accept Fergus Bucks all on the Chamber's website. Again, you can order from the Chamber, you can order online, or you can call us at 218-736-6951 to purchase Fergus Bucks and make a great holiday gift. Well, I'm Lisa Workman, and this has been Find It in Fergus Falls. We will see you again next week.